The Quakes' Shawn Atkinson kills out of necessity. The Enforcers' Big Nasty kills for fun.
Manson, Dahmer, Bundy, I got more kills than all those wins.
Both are on a pace to set an all-time kills record for a single season. That is, if they don't actually kill each other tonight. Shawn Atkinson is as psychotic as ever, and even a cage can't hold him.
Devon, if you stop hiding behind Washington, I have some people I'd like you to be. Captain Hook and Mr. Straight Right. Oh, yeah!
While the Big Nasty, Tim Washington, has morphed into a human wrecking ball.
Back attack! You think you're crazy? The Big Nasty's insane!
It's the Quakes against the Enforcers, next on Roller Jam. Welcome to Orlando, Florida, and Roller Jam Arena at Universal Studios in Orlando. Welcome, this is Roller Jam. All right, the Jam Girls, they can dance, dance, dance all night long. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is Roller Jam. We're very happy to have you with us once again tonight. I'm Rory Marcus, along with Lee Hawk Rearman.
And I can't dance.
Where'd you get that handkerchief there, Big Spender?
Some of the Enforcer fans mugged me and put this in my pocket, so I'm stuck with it.
I'll bet they did, and that indicates to you that Tim Washington will be here tonight for the New York Enforcers against the California Quakes. I'm not even going to say they'll skate on the track later because people have been brought in cages. I hear some motorcycles in the background, so who knows what will happen. But I'll tell you this, the Quakes, with Shawn Atkinson having been unleashed, he has Posse Chalene on his team, and that has made them double tough now.
Absolutely. We're talking about a tandem that has just totally dominated the league in recent weeks, Rory. Posse Chalene, he's got size, he's got speed, and he's been known to take his clothes off once in a while and just see Shawn Atkinson, either a double boot or a little bit later you see a Superman. We are talking about a dynamic duo that is unrivaled here in the World Skating League for power and for prowess.
Well, not all of his clothes, Hawk. And now let's talk about the women, because for the Quakes, Stacy Blitch is out. She's hurt. Remember, she skated one game with the Riot, and it kind of looked like Denise Loden sort of helped her over the rail right here, even though they were teammates this night, along with Talisa Miller, and Blitch is injured. She can't skate tonight.
Well, she's still, I guess, the leader of this women's movement, but for tonight, she's no longer a leader of the bod squad, and that's the first time that's happened in the history of this California Quake franchise.
Atkinson was angry. He did not want her in that game with the Riot. However, he's taken most of his anger and aggression, luckily, out on the track, because he's been very, very tough when he's had the chance to kill on the track. That's just a stat. I don't mean literally kill anybody, but that's what Shawn Atkinson's been able to do for the California Quakes. Now, let's go ahead and get the skater introductions, and as I said, I don't know if they'll be skating on. Let's find out.
And she almost took a spell coming down there, Rory.
Well, she's hurt. She's here to lend some support, but she's injured. So the bod squad is without one of the bods. However, Jamie Konomak and Cindy Zimmerman and the rest of the bod squad, they're all here. Only 5 women skaters. They're going to have to skate without a break. They'll be on the track the entire period, numbers 1 and 3.
And Shawn Atkinson hadn't brought in a replacement. He said he's going to teach him a lesson.
When Atkinson gets here, all he wants to do is win. Sometimes he goes a little crazy in pursuit of that goal. Talking about a little crazy. Look at this guy.
That was kind of like you, Rory.
Kind of.
That was kind of like me, the white pony.
Eric Slopey takes to the track. The Quakes arriving by pretty much conventional means. They didn't even bring Atkinson in a cage. It's a nice little twist for him. And the rest of the California Quakes have arrived. Now, you and I can hear, oh, now wait a minute. I said no cage? Well, here it comes. I guess that's his penalty box again tonight.
Well, he broke out of it last time, Roy. They figured they weren't going to bring him in on it. He might break out of it before they even get it up in here.
What do you think the odds are that he won't get a penalty this evening?
0. That's a safe bet.
Now, earlier tonight, Mark D'Amato and Big Nasty arrived here at the arena with a whole bunch of their friends. They all rode their motorcycles over here, which is a concern for everybody, especially now that I hear them in the background. They're somewhere around here, and they're about to come out here on the track. Let's get the enforcers.
And party time! Let's go!
The Hellcat carrying the whip. That's Lisa Miller. You saw the Big Nasty. You hear his bite. Leather Gunnin was with him.
What? What?
Never mind. And here come the rest of the enforcer men. Mark D'Amato. Well, he didn't have to ride his own bike in tonight. He's getting a ride. Nice of Santa Claus to come by this time of year.
That looks like Buddy Atkinson Jr. What's he doing behind the wheel of that, the handlebars of that bike? Don't tell him I said that.
Atkinson's just reveling in this. There are all his biker friends. How in the heck do they get the privilege of riding their motorcycles into the arena? Again, I think D'Amato is either slipping somebody bribes, paying somebody off. I mean, he breaks every rule in the house.
Well, Rory, I wasn't going to stop him. That's how I got branded with this little caution tape in my jacket. He's even got a reserved seating section for him.
Ridiculous, isn't it? Here they come. While D'Amato greets his friends, I guess. Let's hear from Broadway Danny Wolf.
All right, thanks, Roy. It's very loud down here with all the motorcycles. But Sean Atkinson first, your comments on Stacy Blitch being out tonight.
I told Stacy all along, Denise Loden is a user. She's a street slut, and she's a hood rat. Go back to the trailer park, baby.
And Jamie, it's been a long time since you met one of your arch nemesis. And I'm talking about, well, she's leather now, but she's with the new SOS.
Big deal. I have 2 words that I call her. Biker trash, baby. Biker trash.
Well, if you're waiting for the ultimate cat fight on wheels in the first period, watch out between Leather and Jamie Conomack. Back to you, Rory.
All right, thanks a lot, Danny. Danny's always been a big motorcycle fan himself.
I want to see him on the back of Santa Claus's bike. Is that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on the back of that? Well, Sean Atkinson and friends. They may not be led by Stacy Blitch, but Jamie Conomack and the rest of the Bod squad. Remember last year she had a concussion, Roy, that kept her out for a while, but she's come back with reckless abandon. And Leather Gunnin, I don't know if the L on the front of her name has changed her, but she can still bring a lot of speed to the game. We're still looking for her to really break out after that injury last year.
Gave Leather concussion, gave Jamie concussion. I guess they're even, huh? Leather Gunnin and Jamie Conomack, the first period about ready to start. And I think Jamie Conomack is going to have a big game tonight with Stacy Blitch on the sideline. We'll find out, huh? Here we go. Cindy Zimmerman and Jamie Conomack get the Jammers helmets. And Leather Gunnin grabs one for the Enforcers. What a nice atmosphere to bring the kids and watch a game. How the motorcycles rolling through here. Conomack gets bumped by Gunnin. The first jam is underway. Everybody's a little groggy from all of that carbon monoxide, I think. Gunnin turns around. Oh, that's a nice hip check into Conomack. Maybe will have to pick herself up, and Leather got the better of that one. Now she and the Hellcat have a little conversation. That's a riding crop she has with her. Oh, a whip to the back of the neck. Another one, another one. Oh, man. It makes this game a lot easier when you can bring a riding crop on the track. Once again, I don't know if D'Amato's running this league, but he seems to be able to do anything he wants.
Well, and a great tandem development here between Heather Gunnan and the Hellcat. Leather and Hellcat, and Stacy Blinch is gone. The Bod Squad seem like they're out of sorts, Rory.
At least on that play, 4-0 Enforcers. We'll be right back. We're back at Roller Jam Arena in Orlando. 4-0 is the score. The Enforcers jumped right on top after one jam in this game, so 3 left in this first period. And let's see who grabs the Jammer's helmet, gets a whip, and can emerge from that pack. That's how you can identify who's eligible to score. The black helmet with the yellow stripe. And the Hellcat gets one. Jamie Konomak has it for the Quakes. Talisa Miller takes Konomak down. Boy, she's had a tough start to this game, hasn't she?
Well, you called for her to step up, and she tried to, Rory, but she's just no match for the Hellcat, at least on that jam.
She'll bounce back, believe me. Now Jennifer Matthews will try Talisa Miller. She's proud of the sharpness of those elbows, not to mention the claws, and of course the sting of the whip whenever she decides to bring that out. Talisa Miller staying ahead of Jennifer Matthews at the moment. She gets to the back of the pack and scores one. Now she gets another one as Ileana Bonilla goes down. Miller says, oh, you still here? Calls off the jam, grabs Matthews around the neck and puts her down face first. And then slaps the back of her head.
Stacy Blitz looking on. Futile.
She's doing a Kenneth Logan impersonation.
Well, she's helpless.
Standing in the infield arguing with the referees.
Talisa Miller. You know, we get distracted by the leather, the whips, and everything else, but this is just powerful play. And what made that play possible, Rory, was she took out the 2 blockers that were there to protect her, and it freed her up to just take it home with the Bulldog. Brought that with her over here from Texas, I think, the Texas Bulldog.
The Quakes better get going. They're down 6-0, and the game's just barely underway. Ileana Bonilla now with the Jammer's helmet for the Quakes, and she gets out there along with Jamie Konomak, who's going to try it again, and this time the results are a little better. So Konomak and Bonilla together with a chance to score some points and get the Quakes going. Boy, the blonde and the brunette. That's quite a pair right there. Ileana Bonilla and Jamie Konomak coming up to Brooke Sunderman. Sunderman puts an elbow into Konomak. And now Jennifer Matthews goes back there. So they've got 3-on-1 at the moment. Matthews clears a path for the 2 Quake Jammers. Knocking down Enforcers. There goes Shauna Brown into the infield.
4 blue.
And 4 points for the Quakes. They get right back in it.
Brooke Sunderman, formerly part of this Quake franchise, came over here.
Let's go!
Shauna Brown, of course, notoriously the sister of Shea Brown of the Nevada Hot Dice.
What's notorious about that?
I don't know. I can spell that word. I learned that this morning. Those Enforcer fans taught me how to spell that word,
Did
Rory.
they?
Oh, yeah, we played word association.
As though those guys know how to spell.
I can spell caution.
6-4 is the score. The Quakes are still trailing, and this is the final jam of the first period. Leather Gunnan against Jennifer Matthews. Leather whacks the back of Matthews' head. She pulls up her elbow pad, says, I got one for you too. Leather must get hot, at least from the waist down in that uniform.
Rory, she's hot all over.
Well, I can always count on you to take the high road, Hawk. And here we go again as Gunnan about to lead her into Talisa Miller. And Matthews is laid out. What a first period for the Hellcat. No score on the jam, but a big score by Talisa Miller, who says, oh, too bad, as Matthews picks herself up slowly.
You talked about the high road, Rory. Jenny Matthews was made part of the road, and I mean roadkill. Leather Gunnan setting her up. Here comes the Hellcat. Hey, Jenny, watch out. Get the name of that. I don't want to say a truck. I'd say more like maybe a horse-drawn carriage.
Whatever you say, Hawk, that's the end of the period. And it is 6-4. The Enforcers on top. We'll be right back. Plenty of signage here tonight at Roller Jam Arena. 6-4, the Enforcers lead the Quakes. And one of the Enforcers, the Big Nasty's off his bike and standing on his own 2 feet with Broadway Danny Wolf.
Big Nasty, so far you're having a season for the ages. I don't know if you know this, but you're way ahead of the pace for the most kills in a single season. Buddy Atkinson Jr. has the record with 91. You're way ahead of the pace.
That's right, Wolf. And I'm going to break that record. And it's going to be mine, the Big Nasties.
How about Kenneth Lowe?
Kenneth Lowe, give me a great idea. Yesterday he said I was going to bite off his ear. If Kenneth Lowe gets in my face again, I'm going to bite off your big face. Because I'm the Big Nasty.
Don't bite his ear off.
You like
Sean
to see a guy
Atkinson
chasing the record with some humility, huh?
Well, and speaking of cuckoo, I don't know, you didn't mention cuckoo, but he is cuckoo, is Tim Washington. Sean Atkinson, we bring him in here on a cage sometimes. Well, he won the World Skating League Founders Cup last year, and Mark D'Amato wants it bad. He's got a whole, I guess, parking lot full of bikers here that are cheering him on. There's Sean Atkinson's cage. I like the occupants there a little bit better.
It's kind of dressed up at the moment. All right, here we go with the men's period, and both teams get 2 jammers out. That's one thing about the first jam of the period. The jammers get to start in front. And who's left? Well, Fred Eichhorn for the Enforcers and Tom Smith for the Quakes, and now it's just Smith. He'll be joined by his teammate Brian Krebs, who catches him up from behind. So here they go with a chance for the Quakes to maybe even take the lead in this game as they trail it by 2. First jam of the second period, the men's period. Washington and D'Amato are back there. The Big Nasty looking to add to that kill record. You know Atkinson doesn't want Nasty to break it. And now Nasty gets killed himself. Oh, and D'Amato feels the wrath of Atkinson. What's he doing to him? Choking him? D'Amato looks shocked. If anything can shock that guy, that did.
Tim Washington, D'Amato got caught sleeping. They were kind of mesmerized by the finesse of Krebs and Smith. You see a little dipsy-do back here. This illustrates the difference between these 2 teams. Finesse from the Quakes, sheer power from D'Amato and Washington, but then a little power of their own from Atkinson. And you know what? I think he might have kissed him, Rory.
Oh, disgusting. I think he might have bit him. I don't think he kissed him. I think he bit him. Who would kiss D'Amato? Not Sean Atkinson. I can't imagine that. Well, here we go. Second jam of the period. All of a sudden, the Quakes are ahead 14-6. And Washington, the Big Nasty, wants that jammer's helmet. He glances behind him to see if there's any trouble coming. While those 3 guys glance ahead of him and say, man, there's trouble up there, isn't there? Washington, oh, my goodness. You talk about kills. He's celebrating. The jam's still going on.
That's a double Kong, Rory. They use this when they want to get themselves pumped up. Tim Washington with the double Kong. It's a showstopper.
Tony Santiago approaches the back of the pack. Big Nasty just picked up 2 more kills, and Atkinson, he doesn't care about that at the moment. D'Amato's back there. D'Amato loves this. He likes to just run through there and throw that big left forearm and knock guys out of that pack. There goes Posse Shalene. He got Chad Bond. He gets Krebs. He got them all.
5 black points.
Big play for the Enforcers.
Oh, and the natives are restless. I guess they parked their bikes. I talked about the reserve seating section D'Amato had for them. You said it. He might have got those seats from Logue, but it's a showstopper when Tim Washington stops. Everybody listens. The double Kong, 2 more kills.
Boy, it's awfully tough to get by him on the track or anywhere else for that matter.
It's tough to look at him when he's screaming like that.
Don't take his parking space. 14-11, the Quakes still leading it by 3. Fred Eichhorn's grabbed the jammer's helmet for the Enforcers. For the Quakes, Brian Krebs, can they get out? Yeah, they both got out, and so did Eric Slopey. The white pony against Eichhorn now. Oh, nice job by Freddie Eichhorn. Knocked them both out of there. And Eichhorn with just a little bit of hair coming out of the back of that black helmet. Has a chance to score some points. That might be the back of his scarf, actually, as Atkinson waits for him and knocks him down hard. Big block by Atkinson. Slopey's catching from behind. Eichhorn takes care of him again. Then they both go down. Atkinson knocks down the Big Nasty. They'll both be slow to pick themselves up. And now the Nasty pushes Sean down again. Oh, my goodness. He doesn't need to get the kill record all at one time, does he?
Then the man pass one over. Hold on, figure it
What
out.
about this? He wants more. He throws him into the cage. That's Tom Smith. He's going to go get Slopey now. D'Amato's after Slopey.
D'Amato's going bird watching, Rory.
I think they want to put the entire Quake team in that cage. They have two of them in already. Here's Slopey.
Quiet.
Slopey trying to get away from D'Amato, and he can't.
3, 4.
Leather just locked the cage.
Let's get this pack together. Let's get this pack together.
Posse's trying to figure out what's going on. Mark D'Amato trying to figure out what else he can vandalize.
3 California Quakes are in the cage, waiting to come out and skate the last jam of this period. Atkinson, can he pull this thing apart? So far, no. Corbin just threatened the Quakes with a forfeit. Look at Smith. How skinny is he? And Slopey. And Krebs, they all got out.
5 seconds to get on the track. Let's go.
5 seconds to get on the track, says the referee.
Get on the track.
I don't know how much Logue spent on that cage, but it can't keep anybody in there. Atkinson goes out the top, and the thin jammers for the Quake kind of just sneak through the middle. I don't think Tim Washington could fit. You know what? He could just break through, so he's kind of out of the equation, too.
One more jam left in the first half, and then we'll mercifully be at halftime. And the New York Enforcers send Andy Wallace out on the jam, along with Tony Santiago, who gets knocked down hard. And that leaves the 2 Quake jammers out there, Brian Krebs and Tom Smith. They just got a get out of jail free card, and they feel like they're free men finally and able to skate after being in that cage for a few minutes. D'Amato and Washington set up the double block, and Atkinson rips it apart. Oh, you talk about a kill. Atkinson's not far off that record either. He doesn't want Washington to take his father's record, and I don't blame him, and look out, D'Amato.
Knock it off.
That's the end of the first half.
There was 8
Shalene congratulates his teammates. Atkinson picked up a couple of kills of his own, and D'Amato and the Big Nasty are slow to rise. 22-15 Quakes. We'll be right back. We are back at Roller Jam Arena, and right now the Quakes lead the Enforcers by 7, 22-15. Rory Marcus along with Lee Hawk Rearman, and right now I feel a little sympathy for our partner, Broadway Danny Wolf. He's in the infield. He's surrounded by a whole group of people that includes Kenneth Logue and Mark D'Amato. Go ahead, Danny.
Listen, give me that mic. First of all, I want to send a shout out to the Wolfpack USA for coming here tonight. These are my new best friends in the whole wide world. Special shout out to Hobo, who was kind enough to ride me in on his beautiful bike. Thanks, buddy. All right, second of all, another thank you. The Roller Jam website has been flooded with emails. It's nice to see that there are some women in the United States who haven't totally lost their mind. I have been getting thousands of emails from beautiful, naked women sending me their pictures. Keep it coming. I enjoy every minute of it.
Well, thank you. I doubt you're getting thousands, maybe tens. Kenneth Logue right now. Let's ask you, first of all, about this cage. This was your creation, your invention, a safeguard against Sean Atkinson going crazy, but it didn't work.
Well, clearly, Daniel, we'll be building bigger and stronger cages until we can come up with one that can contain animals like Sean Atkinson. But until we do, we have a temporary solution. Gentlemen, bring the cage over this way, please.
Wait, what are you doing?
We'll be attaching the cage to this chain. And when Mr. Atkinson misbehaves, in his cage he goes, and up he goes to keep all the rest of us out of harm's way.
All right, now let me ask you about the women's movement. You seem to be one of the few male proponents. I see you have Lindsay and Stacy here with you. Respond to D'Amato getting thousands of nude emails from women.
Well, we're going to have to put these pronouncements to the test. What I'd like to do is invite all the fans of Roller Jam to contact us on a neutral site, www.rollerjam.com, and let us know whose side you really are on. Are you in favor of the kind of slathering depravity that Mark D'Amato represents? Or do you want good, clean, wholesome entertainment, a sport you can be proud of?
Well, we'll see what happens at www.rollerjam.com. Make your vote, fans. Right now, back to Rory and Hawk.
Who in the world do you root for in this thing? I mean, not D'Amato. And by the way, the women of America, if you're really sending those pictures, I'm so disappointed. And how can you root for Logue?
I don't know. Send the pictures to me, and Logue has no friends. You know what? Send them to Logue. He needs it, pal.
Yeah, he could use a little jolt in his life. Well, talking about jolts, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half of this game. Talisa Miller was ready to give a jolt with that whip. I'll tell you, a riding crop to send Leather through there, that's what D'Amato's team is like.
Well, and they weren't done with the women, because once they got over onto the men's side, it was all big nasty, Rory. And I tell you, he didn't need a whip. He didn't need a cage. He needed nothing. All he needed was himself, because he just took it right to these California Quakes. And Sean Atkinson, I tell you, if they put Sean Atkinson up in that cage, he might be safer than he was on the track, because look at the double Kong from Tim Washington.
Don't go anywhere, and Atkinson, he might be looking at his new home. It's got a nice view, doesn't it? Stay right with us. Well, we're at Roller Jam Arena. You know, the King, Richard Brown, has often told Danny Wolf, get on your knees. If he was ever going to do it, it would be now, standing next to Leather.
No, I don't think I'm going to do that. Well, maybe later. I got to ask you, what do you think about the goody-goodies, these girls of the world skating league, the women's movement?
I think it's a bunch of crap. Goody-goody, no. We'll convert them to our side in no time.
And how about Jamie earlier saying you were nothing but biker trash?
I got something for biker trash. She's about to have a little bit more than a concussion this period.
Back to you, Rory.
All right, Danny, thank you very much. Thank you, too, Leather. And we're ready to go. Period number 3. Doesn't it just get crazier and crazier all the time, Hawk?
Well, when they put that cage, which is right now, ladies and gentlemen, still hanging above here at Roller Jam Arena, that's about as crazy as it can get.
Well, let's hope that's a good, strong cable they have up there. Jamie Konomak and Leather both went down, and that leaves the jam to Shauna Brown of the Enforcers. She grabs the hair of Cindy Zimmerman, but it doesn't knock her down. Zimmerman and Shauna Brown. There's a quick shot into the midsection by Shauna. Pretty good skaters here. Of course, Cindy Zimmerman, one of the original Bod Squad members. You remember the cover of TV Guide with her and Stacy Blitch and Jamie Konomak? Well, that shot right there won't make the cover of anything, other than maybe Shauna Brown's scrapbook. Jenny Matthews gets back to block. A couple of quick shots into Shauna Brown. Shauna trying to hang in there and gets another assist from the Hellcat. Woo. Jennifer Matthews has spent a lot of time picking herself up off the track tonight because of Talisa Miller.
Let's go.
The Hellcat, she's not done there either. Rory, she does her little Hellcat shuffle. But Shauna Brown, uncharacteristically called upon here, and drives Jenny Matthews right into the Hellcat. The absence of Stacy Blitch is really going to play a role here now that we get down to crunch time, Rory. She's not here. They need her to these Quakes.
She's standing there in the infield, unable to play, kind of with her hand on that sore hip most of the time. And it might cost her team the game, although they're ahead right now by 6. And Leather's out there with Jamie Konomak. These two have been battling since the start of this game. Twice Leather got the better of her. Not this time, though. Konomak, maybe she's a big second-half player.
Well, and right before the jam, did Leather say to Jamie Konomak she's going to get a lot worse than a concussion? Well, hey, don't tell Jamie Konomak that, because she'll come out and bite you.
Konomak now comes up to the Hellcat, a vicious blocker for the Enforcers. She winds that elbow up and whacks the top of Konomak's head. She has to shake it off. Oh, yeah, how about that? Jamie Konomak pushed her into Jennifer Matthews, and they were able to knock the Hellcat down that time. Now the Hellcat runs after Matthews and knocks her down again.
Let's go.
Well, these two have been going at it.
No, let's go. That's enough. Play the game. Play the game. Let's knock it off. Calm down. Calm down, little kitties.
Come here, girl.
Calm down. You're like a bunch of little cats out here.
Sean Corbin calls them a bunch of little cats. Well, the Hellcat got a little of her own medicine. Jenny Matthews, I talked about the absence of Stacy Blitch being a huge factor here in the third period. Well, Jenny Matthews and Jamie Konomak and the girls, they've stepped it up, Rory. That's what you got to do. You got to rise to the occasion.
They sure have. They've done well without Stacy Blitch tonight, well enough to be ahead 23-16. And now, 2-on-1 is the advantage. Ileana Bonilla goes down in her mod squad outfit, and 2-on-0 is the advantage for the Enforcers. They have a chance to get right back in it right now. Down by 7, but that could mean nothing if they both get them all. Jaleesa Miller, the Hellcat, and Leather Gunnan of the New York Enforcers. It's Miller who's going to lead the way through. That's an easy takedown for her. Gunnan slips over the top, goes through the infield, lost control for a moment, but they have to give her at least 2. That's what they gave her, 2 points for the Enforcers.
And she gets stronger with every jam, Rory. Leather, Heather, the gun.
Let's go, let's go.
She had that big layoff with that injury. She's come back, and every game she gets stronger, much to the pleasure of Mark D'Amato, the Hellcat, the rest of the Enforcers.
He's going through his email right now.
Got a Palm Pilot.
Reduced down to little small pictures he brings with him. 23-18, a 5-point lead for the Quakes.
I wonder if he shows Hobo those pictures.
I don't think Hobo has seen anything other than the bottom of a beer glass in a while. 23-18 is the score. Quakes have 2 jammers out there against Shauna Brown, and they knocked her to the turf. Panamac and Jennifer Matthews picking up the slack big time for Stacy Blitch. And here they come again, trying to add to a 5-point lead. Leather gets back there with Brooke Sunderman. Leather glances over her shoulder. She didn't see any clothes on her shoulder, but she sees the jammer. And she's got one. Sunderman has the other one. And they're setting them up for a double kill by the Hellcat.
It's the rack. I guess Cats have 9 lives, but those poor Bob Squatters only had 1. And the rack, I guess it's a bunk bed when you take 2 of them out, Rory.
That's how bad it's going for Jamie. She threw her helmet, then it came back and hit her. Tough break, huh? All right. The 3rd period is history. We're going away for a minute, and then we'll be back and see who wins this thing. 23-18 Quakes. We're back at Roller Jam Arena. The final period is coming up. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. See that cage suspended? It's above the infield, and if Sean Atkinson gets in any trouble here, that's where he's going. Right now, he's standing with Broadway Danny Wolf.
Well, that's right. Sean's on the in the infield on the ground right now, but you heard what Logue said. A penalty to you, and you're up in that cage.
I tell you what, you can't make one special rule for one player. It's got to be universal for the whole league. Not me, the whole league.
Are you going to be extra careful this period so you don't get placed up there in the rat cage?
No, I'm not going to be extra careful. And if I do go up there, there's no cage that's going to hold this animal.
Back to you, Rory.
The yak attack means business. And you know what? He has a point, Hawk. Why should he be singled out? It's not fair.
All's fair in love and war, my friend. That guy doesn't love anybody, and he's always at war.
Remember how pleased with himself he looked when he first arrived on the scene? Look at him now. I mean, give me a break. This guy, if he walks into a bank, they'll set off the security alarm. Atkinson and the Big Nasty are out there. These guys could both get the kill record, and they just killed each other. Give the edge to Atkinson. He says, yeah, how about that, Big Nasty? Meanwhile, the jam goes on. And Andy Wallace gets out there for the New York Enforcers. Andy Wallace and Eric Slopey. Slopey takes a couple of steps behind Wallace, catches up to him on the bottom of the track. Atkinson's back there to help him out. Meanwhile, Washington waits for Slopey. So the 2 big blockers on both teams get a chance to do their stuff. Will either jammer get by? Will there be any points scored? Atkinson has a hold of his man. Look out. Oh, Andy Wallace, too bad for you, buddy. On the other side of the track, Slopey goes down to the Big Nasty.
He's adding to that kill. Both these guys are adding to the kill sheet. Well, Big Nasty starts out here looking like the aggressor. Sean Atkinson takes things upon himself. Andy Wallace, you talked about speed. Well, he went down pretty fast, too. And then you see the Big Nasty. These guys, he looks like he's hanging up a blanket that he just pulled out of the washing machine. He gets himself pumped up, doesn't he, Rory?
You know what? If they do give Atkinson a penalty, what are they going to do? Slingshot him up into that cage?
I'm not standing under it. I think we ought to get word down to Danny Wolf not to get too close under it either.
23-19, the Quakes lead it by 4. Second jam of 4 in this final period. The Shalene Machine is outnumbered 2-on-1, but he's like 3 men in 1. See what I mean? Down goes Icord. Oh, man, and then down hard goes Santiago. And Shalene gets on those great skates and continues this jam. He is like a machine. D'Amato's going to try and put a stop to him. D'Amato has all the guile in the world. So does Sean Atkinson. They're wrapped up together. Atkinson's holding on to his arm. He's bringing him up to the rail. Now he let him go. D'Amato still has a shot to get Shalene. Oh, but Atkinson only let him go to lead him into the trap. Posse's going through. The Shalene Machine gets... No, he didn't get around the Big Nasty. Here comes Atkinson to take care of the Big Nasty.
3 blue and 2 black. There were 3 blue.
There's a couple of kills
Don't
for
do
you.
it, Sean. Don't do it. You're going to get in the cage. That's going to get him a trip uptown.
That's it. You're in the box. I warned you. I warned you. You made me do it. I got no choice. I got no choice. Let's go. Let's go. Bring me the cage down. Bring down the cage. Bring down the cage.
I don't know how they can do this to this guy.
Here we go. Bring it down.
I don't know how they can do this to the building.
Bring it down.
The cage is being lowered slowly down to the track. We're going to take a break. Atkinson shaking his head no. The Quakes lead by 5. And we still have 2 more jams. Stay with us.
You're going to have to get in, or you're going to have to forfeit. Now, you're going to have to get in, or you're going to have to forfeit. I have no choice. I'm the head official, but Logan's the general manager. Just be a good little boy for 60 seconds. That's not being good.
He agreed to it because he doesn't want to forfeit the game. Well, you could say he's the ultimate team player. And look at this. This is what Logue wanted, to have him raised up high enough that he supposedly can't do any damage.
Well, I don't know how he's going to do it, Rory, but he can do a lot of damage from a lot of places, and I wouldn't want to be near that cage or near that girder holding it either.
He's gone through a lot. And here's a little more for you, Sean. Well, there are only 2 jams left in the game. He only has to stay up there for 1 if he can manage to do it. He's swinging that thing back and forth. Meanwhile, play goes on below him. He ought to just think of it as a skybox and enjoy it.
Well, he took the water up there with him.
Yeah, he did. Give him a little TV. He'll be all right. All right, Fred Icord is out there against Tom Smith. Smith for the Quakes as Atkinson jumps up and down in that cage. Boy, I'd hate for that thing to come crashing down on the track. Icord and Smith going at each other. And now Icord gets knocked down, and that leaves Tom Smith out there. Meanwhile, the Big Nasty says, here comes another kill coming right at me. It's like they served it to me on a plate. As he whacks the back of the head, grabs him around the neck, and sets him up for the blow. Icord recovered. He's getting points. The jam has 1 second left. That's it. Icord got the points. D'Amato made the big play.
They're lowering the cage, Rory. Sean Atkinson's going to have a chance, but he's taking his skates off. He may not have time to get them on. I'm not sure.
Oh, look at that.
No.
Look at that. He's going to have more time now. He just crashed through that thing, and he has a trash can in his hand.
Oh, no.
Keep going, keep going.
He's going to end up right back in there.
That's good, that's good.
There's a kill on Washington. Oh, my goodness. D'Amato, he didn't realize it was trash day around here. Now he knows.
Security!
Oh, it's all broken loose. They're calling security.
Security in now. Let's go. No more. No more.
Corbin screamed for security, and here they
Get him
come.
back to that bench.
That guy just lays in a cage backstage until they need him.
They're going to need a new one.
He's got Atkinson, who has his skates off. Logue looks like, well, he looks like he's been beat up pretty good.
Another brilliant plan by Logue.
There's one more jam left to go. Atkinson is putting his skates on. They're not going to throw him out of the game. D'Amato's being helped off. There he is, putting that helmet right through that cage and getting out.
And once again, Rory, this guy sometimes does more damage to himself than anybody, but he wasn't going to get out of here without taking out a piece of the New York Enforcers. He goes after Washington. You're right, it was garbage day. What do you think Hobo thinks about that? Down goes Washington, and down goes Mark D'Amato. He tees him up, he sizes him up, and he lights him up.
Hobo's the only one that thinks this is kind of a routine day. He does this kind of thing every night over at the trailer park. Atkinson's going to be allowed to skate. He did all of that damage while time was out after the jam. So he's still in there, believe it or not. He's damaged another cage, though. Nothing can hold that guy. I wonder if he met up with Roberto Duran somewhere and just...
No mas, no mas.
Ray Robles said, look it, I can impersonate Duran. You want to see? All right. Final jam of the game. The game is on the line. The Quakes have the 3-point lead. Can Atkinson get out of jail and help his team win? He's going to stay in the back of the pack for now and leave the jamming to somebody else. Now it's one-on-one. As for the Quakes, Tom Smith has a chance. For the Enforcers, Tony Santiago. It's the Enforcers who have to get 3 to tie and 4 to win. 26 seconds left. Oh, Washington took Smith out, but Atkinson does the same thing to Santiago. Neither jammer is up. Both Washington and Atkinson are piling up the kills. Now the jammers are catching from behind. The Enforcers, though, need the points without the Quakes scoring any, and it's not going to work out that way. What a play by Smith. He comes up to Washington, and Atkinson rips him down to the ground. Sean Atkinson.
That's it.
Now he has the bench. Here comes a kill for you. You talk about a kill record. You talk about an immediate medical attention. And you talk about a guy let out of jail. Oh, Daddy.
Oh, Daddy's right. And Tim Washington, you ought to get 2 for killing Tim Washington.
Atkinson has the win. Washington gets the medical attention.
Sean, you went absolutely nuts during that game, but you were unbelievable.
Oh, Daddy, no cage is going to hold the Yak attack. No way.
Congratulations on a big win.
Thank you.
Now, Stacy Blitch, I have you and Leather. I don't know, you're a member of the new SOS, but you didn't keep all the promises tonight of taking care of Jamie Conaback.
It doesn't matter. We showed that the new bot,
You know, it's women like you who give women like us a bad name.
Oh!
What was that?
I don't know, but I want to see it again.
Stacy Blitch wants to wash her own mouth out with soap. And meanwhile, Leather, well, who knows where she might be going. Some den somewhere.
I want to see it again.
Underground. Atkinson and the Quakes win the game.
He wants to see it again.
I hope you've had an entertaining time watching all of this. You won't see it anywhere else. That's it, 31-26. Good night, everybody.
I want to see it again.